all-in-one products that we offer. So, Lisa, why don't you start us off by telling us in layman's terms, what is an all-in-one product? It sounds awesome, but what does it do?
Sure. So everybody's used to a fully amortized mortgage now when you talk about loans on properties. The all-in-one is a first position line of credit. So again, people are typically used to having a fully amortized, perhaps 30-year fixed in place, and then they get a second mortgage for a Heloc. This is a first mortgage combining the attributes kind of both. So you can use it for a purchase, and every deposit, it's tied to a banking account. Every deposit that the borrower puts into it, then they immediately have access to the funds.
Okay.
So for instance, if they used it as a purchase for a primary, and then 6 months down the line, they found an investment property that they wanted to purchase, they can use the down payment funds from this all-in-one existing first mortgage. There's no delay in having to apply for a second mortgage to have access to their equity. They immediately have it. And it's seasoned funds that any investor would permit for that down payment.
So well, take me through this, and because just so you know, for this call, we have realtors on this call, right? So what we want to talk about and what we want to help them do is have another option that they can provide to their clients. So if I'm a realtor and I'm hearing about this program, what are things that would be a highlight to me that I can then pass on to my clients? Like, how can I highlight this to them to get them to understand how this program works?
Sure. So again, if you are a realtor and that your some of your clients are multiple, have multiple investment properties or multiple properties, they could use this first position line of credit to turn around and purchase other properties with it. Right. So there's no delay. They can scoop up those properties right away, and they don't, you're not going to sit through a 30 or 60-day wait to get approved for those properties. They also build equity in the existing property much faster should they decide to turn around and sell that property. So the realtor could get the sale for that property and then purchase a new property. So they would immediately have that down payment funds available for the next property. It is available on all occupancies. There are certain states that have some restrictions. Texas is a second home and investment property, and a couple of other states have a little bit of a loan to value restriction. But other than that, it's available in all states. So, it's a purchase or a refi, and there are some options for qualifying as far as asset depletion. I know the realtors don't get that involved in that side of it, but there is a generous view of how to obtain those types of financing, which might be a little more restrictive on other loans.
So Lisa, tell me a little bit more. I know behind me it says pay off home faster, build equity quicker. Okay. How can borrowers do that?
So it's a wealth management tool. Okay. When you have a 30-year fixed fully amortized loan, there's a payment that you make every single month. And the bulk of that payment goes towards interest, as we all know. If you have this all-in-one loan, every single deposit that you make into the account immediately reduces the principal balance. And then you immediately have access to that equity. So it's principal paid first. Which is completely opposite as a fully amortized loan.
Well, because most loans now, like a 30-year fixed, typical, just ordinary 30-year fixed, you're paying on the interest first before it hits the principal, right? So if you have $2,000 monthly payment, typically about $1,700, $1,800 of that in the very beginning years are going towards paying the interest, and then the other $100, $200 remainder is going towards the principal. It takes a lot longer to pay down principal. So you're saying it's a little bit quicker to pay down principal using this loan?
It's a lot quicker.
Okay.
It's a lot quicker paying down principal on this loan. If you took out a loan for $300,000 as an all-in-one, and then you put your $10,000 salary check into it once a month, you are immediately reducing that balance by $10,000. So your $300,000 is now $290,000. So off the bat, immediately that balance is reduced. Interest accrues daily, so the longer you can keep that balance lower, the better you are as far as that interest accruing. So if you put that $10,000 in and then you had to pay your car payment or your Amex bill towards the end of the month, and your balance went back up to 293, then that's what you would be getting the interest accrued on.
Gotcha. Okay. And we had a question in the Q&A from Julie. She asked, is it an adjustable rate? So is it a separate interest rate for the Heloc portion, or is it just all one loan?
It's all one loan. So it's index plus margin. It is adjustable. It's index plus margin. When you close on this loan, you close on a mortgage that's recorded against your house, and it has full banking access. So it's a checking account that's tied to the mortgage, and it's full integrated banking. So you've got the debit card, the checking account, the Visa card, everything that comes with an actual bank account is part of it.
So, I mean, if you're really trying to maximize maybe your equity or maximize, like, the ability to invest. I mean, investing, it's a hot button, right? Everybody's talking about, Bitcoin. Everybody's trying to invest in something these days, right? Lately, in the market, past few days has not performed as well, but that's the ebbs and flow of the market. It's going to be down, it's going to be up. But so having this money or having this equity, whatever you want to talk about, available to us, let's just call it money, right? And then being able to use that, you can essentially like buy investments with it, like buy stock and put it into a trading account and actually start using that money to build more equity, more wealth overall.
Correct. Exactly. So I'm in New York. I have a friend that just did this on their investment property. And their plan is to take the money after they build that equity, to turn around, pull that money out, and put it back into the market that they had used those funds to purchase this investment property. So it's all in how you use your wealth. Most people have a checking account, and they deposit their payroll into that direct deposit every month, and they pay their bills. And that money just sits there. Right? They think, hey, I should probably open a CD, or I should probably move this excess money over into my savings account. But generally, it just sits in the checking account. Gives you a nice feeling of complacency. It's sitting there. You have it if you need it. Yep. That money is not being put to use.
Right.
If you had the all-in-one and you deposited that money, again, it immediately reduces your balance. You're paying less interest. Your money is working for you. But then you have access to it. You don't lose it. It's not locked up somewhere where you can't have it again. Yeah,
that sounds pretty awesome. So, we talked to, and again, just some ideas for realtors. Like when you're in the real estate industry, right? Not only as a realtor, a loan officer, and you're in this industry, you come encounter with a lot of people in the financial world, right? You come in, some of my best friends are financial planners, right? And when I was able to kind of talk to them about this program and what we have, their eyes they kind of lit up. I'm like, oh my God, this is a perfect opportunity, because now, right, you can make those relationships with a financial planner, this, that, and the other, build that relationship so that they can help somebody build wealth. And I think that's awesome. And they're doing it out of an asset that they would already have, right? They already own the home, right? And what the market's done recently with the values of homes going up, you got people sitting on tons of equity. This is a huge opportunity to tap into that equity, to use it to maybe future-proof your finances for a long time, right? So some more questions are coming in right now. So again, anybody who's out there, realtors and all that stuff, feel free to ask a question. You can also raise your hand on the reactions tab. There's a raise hand feature down at the bottom. Click that button if you want to actually ask your question live, or you can just pop in the Q&A and I'll get to it. Again, this is all for our realtors to ask their questions. We do separate trainings for loan officers. This is all for our realtors to ask questions. So one of the questions that came up is, what is the max loan to value? So in realtor terms, what's the most money I can have access to, say, on an investment property? Is it capped at a certain percent?
Yeah, so the investment property for a purchase or rate term, they have 25%. They have, let's just call it a purchase, right? So 25% they would have to put down on an investment property. Okay. On a primary home, it's 10%.
Oh, wow. You've probably seen a lot of different uses of this product. Is there anything like out of the ordinary or anything like wild that you saw somebody, what's a crazy thing you thought somebody used the money for?
They did go gambling. I wouldn't necessarily suggest that be the use of the funds, but There was somebody that did, and they won big, and